Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Hey, Julian. Hey, Tommy. Good morning, Matt. Got ourselves a nice little range here, boys and girls. Good morning, Jonathan. Looks like we're going to be opening right on this level here. Morning, Tom. Hey, Blaze. Hey, Paul. I'm going to draw some of these levels on NQ that we were getting close to. The all-time high is right in sight. And the market is just about open here. One more minute. Starting in a range, but within striking distance to some serious key levels here to the upside. Good morning, Queet. No trends in play on either indice, on either index, I should say. And market is open. Let's see what happens. We're right at the top of this range. Could consider taking a short if we get a good looking bearish bar. This is a lower high right here. If it closes bearish, I'll take the trade down, trying to get to the EMA, but did not close near its low. Another chance on this bar. Could be a failed breakout. Oof, I like that. I don't know that we're going to get in this thing fast enough. Just looking for a quick move down. There we go. There's our little move down. Ah, man, we touched the EMA. All right. We'll start trailing right there. Hopefully it can drop down. If not, we'll just take a quick scalp. No sense in holding it right when we touch the EMA, as that could be support, as it is showing to be initially. Fortunately, NQ is doing just about the same thing. So both markets moving the same, always good, always helpful for some trades. If they're moving in lockstep, price action becomes much easier to read. And here we are trying to break out of that overnight high area. Of course, if this does break out, we'll have to adjust our channel. This is kind of what happened yesterday. We just got going to the upside and never stopped, but it's pretty rare that you see 2 days in a row like that, so we shouldn't get too excited. Market needs to prove itself here. NQ still hasn't broke out yet. Yes, and we have a big unfilled gap below as well. It's a good call out, Tom. Nasdaq refusing to join on this. We'll try one more failed breakout. That's the last short. We already got one winner. Maybe we can get another one right here. We'll start trailing once we get back to that breakout area. Come on, drop down, little buddy. Drop down, little buddy. Take another scalp. Tom says the run makes me hopeful the war is actually ending. Yeah, unfortunately, conflicts, wars, do not have as much of a market impact as you would think. If you go through history, there often is a little bit of a downturn at the beginning of a war, but the market doesn't care too much because it's not usually that big of an economic impact. It's kind of sorry to say, but it's just the truth that there's a lot of bull runs during wars. NQ still very reluctant to join on this push up. Good morning, Archer. So yes, it is starting to look like the S&P might have the secondary channel going, but I'm waiting for Nasdaq to join to really play that. Definitely not shorting anymore though, as this could continue to be an uptrend. Nasdaq starting to make its attempt to break out. So you can see here, time will tell if it's a legit breakout or not. NQ just about to clear that overnight high. S&P continuing to make strides to the upside. Do you feel like a pullback is coming pretty soon, and we're going to have to determine how strong that pullback is. If this thing just vertically drops back into the range, we are not going to be looking for long. But if this just meanders back down and starts holding the EMA as support, we could get a good long entry. Still hovering around this high. NQ starting to correct back downwards. Here we are back at the 21. Let's see what happens. This finds support or if we drop back down into the range. My bet today is that we drop back down into the range, mostly because we had a huge bullish day yesterday. It's very rare to have that 2 days in a row, and often instead people get trapped who are trying to model a repeat of the day before. Blaze, as I've said many times, is the 21 EMA. Yeah, so far this is looking like a clean rejection. Already looking to delete that secondary channel. We'll be playing this move downwards. Good morning, Octopus. What'd you miss? Not a whole lot, just so far buyers getting trapped. It's a good old bull trap. Interestingly enough, though, Nasdaq hasn't really joined on a lot of the weakness. Still kind of hovering up towards the high, relatively speaking. Dang. That feels newsy. A little bit of an overshoot on that move down, it looks like. Possible selling climax. Let's see if we bounce up. Nasdaq sure is bouncing up right there. Had that little extended move down. It's already back above the 21. like both sides might get trapped at this point. No real position that I'd like to see here. We have yet for a trend to be developed. We had that move up at the beginning. I got smoked by those down candles. Now we have an overshoot and Q's above the EMA. ES is testing it right now. Zooming out, there's no larger pattern. Well, there is a larger pattern. It's called a range. So we are in a range right now, guys. Make no mistake about it. This is very much range-like action. I'd agree with Archer. I'd consider a lower high. It's not great though. It would be C+ at best with the overall price action. Nevertheless, you gotta take what you can take sometimes. Hey, C's get degrees, am I right, Octopus? See about that lower high. So waiting for that mythical lower high, but it's really not looking good now with Nasdaq ready to break out of this range potentially. Huge divergence going on between the two indices. No lower high formed anyway on the S&P, so that's good. I'm going to reload my chart though as well. Chart still loading. I don't really have any trade on Nasdaq that I would want. Maybe if this turns around super bearish. And Q still crawling upwards. S&P chopping around the EMA. Definite divergence. No bar there on NQ. And ES, really tricky to determine the bias with the difference in the markets. Now we're above the EMA. Yeah, I'm not down for that lower high anymore. Chinthka asking, do I think MES gives better signals? No, because it's the same. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, it's the same thing. It's just the price moves exactly the same. How could it be better? It's just smaller. It's really important, guys, to know what the heck you're trading before you trade it. I said something about SPY the other day, and I had someone ask me, what's SPY? Like, and you're trading? What? It's, yeah. And there's no shame in like not knowing something like that, but just don't be trying to trade if you don't know the first thing about the markets. You know, just take a little time, learn a couple things. Don't try to trade until you like. You wouldn't like get in a race car and just start driving it, hitting the gas, right? You wouldn't just jump out of an airplane unless you knew about your parachute. But apparently people just get in the markets and start clicking buttons. All right, so S&P moving up here. A little bit aligned with the NQ now. At least they're both moving up. Finally, yeah, for sure. Finally, they're somewhat agreeing with each other. All right, this breakout, not super convincing on NQ. ES moving down a little bit. Yes, finding some support on the 21. If this turns into a second entry long, I will take it. And we already have one leg here, one attempt higher, looking for that second leg of the pullback, and then a bullish bar to go long. Meanwhile, Nasdaq potentially played out on this move up. We had a close outside of the channel and a new high. We would expect the bears to start stepping in here. And there's really just not a whole lot of reasons to take a trade. We had a couple pretty decent opportunities earlier trying to play the range, but now the market's showing us range is not super consistent. We're not turning down and reversing at the same points. We came down, and I was going to say yesterday's high. Yeah, I mean, basically came down to yesterday's high, turned immediately. We're on that other key level. We've not been able to get above it. So we just need some patience here. We already got a couple scalps, so we're sitting green on the day. No sense in ruining that. Let's wait till something really clear starts to pop up. Octopus, I don't know how you missed those. Sleeping in. Queet's got the daily Discord troubleshooting question. I don't know how to help you, man. You gotta contact support. I'm not technical support. You can shoot me an email if you want. It's on my page's info. The contact information on my YouTube channel. Matt asking about a flag. No. There is no flag here, guys. Please, if you don't get anything else from this stream, get this. Do not trade patterns. Looking for flags and head and shoulders and three soldiers or whatever, all that stuff, it will not help you, I promise. You gotta learn to read price action. It's the only way. Right now, here's what the price action is telling it. We're in a range. There is no pattern. The move right now is to do nothing. Ah, shoot, you're right, Tom. The dinosaur patterns work. That is true. That is true. And right now, we have the old Stegosaurus. All right, Stegosaurus pattern. So that is true. The Stegosaurus pattern does work. All the other patterns, though, are terrible. S&P looks like it's trying to pop its way up again. Matt, if you're needing help on this, highly suggest starting with my YouTube videos. The most recent ones break down the exact trades that I'm looking for that can actually make you money, actually make you profitable. And if you really want a detailed look and a consolidated view of everything, because, you know, in order to really map out the entire strategy, you're probably gonna have to piece together a lot of different stuff on my channel and live streams, etc. But if you want everything consolidated, tells you exactly what to look for, exactly how to enter, exit, manage prop firms, mindset, everything you need to know. The masterclass is the best way. Link is below if you're interested. But start with the YouTube stuff. See if that can help you. If you want more, it's available. Blaze saying my Discord is from 7:32 when I'm done trading. Depends on the market. There are some days where it's not worth staying the whole day. I mean, the Discord doesn't ever close. There's people that are hanging out there, you know. I don't have to be there. You can trade as long as you want. Reteaching your brain from the bad habits. Yeah, we've all been through that, man. It's hard. Because literally the instincts that we have as humans are the very things that will get in our way to be profitable trading. No, there's no audio feature. But I send screenshots of exactly what I'm looking for. I let everyone know exactly the setups I'm looking for. Premium members can see a live feed of my screen. There's daily lessons that break down every single day the exact setups that occurred, how to read them, how to interpret them. My goal is not for people it's not for trade signals. If you want trade signals, go somewhere else. Like, I'm trying to teach people how to actually do this for themselves. If you're always relying on someone else to tell you when to enter and exit, you're never going to make it. I'm trying to teach people. This little uptrend on the S&P technically played out, but we do have a little bit of a bullish bias coming in. Continued push up, NQ as well. It's been kind of an ugly battle, but bulls are indeed winning. Still no great setup here. We do not even need the first step to getting a setup, guys. If you all want a little bit more concrete, the very first step to getting a setup is to determine the market structure and the market trend. If you cannot do that, you can't do anything else. So if you don't really know what the market structure is for the day, you don't know what the trend is for the day, or it's difficult to tell because of the price action, then the answer is that you do nothing. You don't trade anything. And right now, that's where we're at. Market structure has overall been rangy, as we can see, with a slight bullish bias, but we don't have a trend. We had a trend starting right here, but that's already played itself out. We have basically two legs up. This is when we would expect sellers to step in. So we're waiting for the next trend to form. Sellers possibly stepping in here. Water fasting says doing nothing has helped me a lot. Honestly, water fasting, I think that is probably the number one thing that unprofitable traders could do to start finding profitability is stop trading. Like, if you think about it, if you look at all your results, and hopefully you guys journal, if you look at all of your trades, we always think like, man, if I could just make, some bigger trades, I'd be profitable. Look at your journal. I bet there are like just a handful of trades that are putting you in the red. 99% of the time, it is not about making a better trade or like finding a bigger trade. It's about eliminating the dumb ones. And the way you start doing that is by taking your hands off the mouse. Stop clicking buttons. Yesterday, and when you do that is all dependent on the market. Yesterday, this is a day to click buttons. Look at this thing. This is a day to click buttons. We got, here's the morning session. We weren't quite sure. It's looking pretty bullish. We're still below this key level. Boom. We're above this key level. That's when we know we're in a bullish trend for the day, and there's just so many opportunities to get long, and that comes from waiting. It comes from waiting through all this, waiting through other days. Actually, the previous day was not too bad either. Waiting through days like this that are just sideways, not clicking anything. Don't click. Wait. Be patient. Okay, things are better. Maybe you get an entry or two in this, and then you get a day like this, and boom, that just makes up for everything else. So be patient. You do not have to take a trade every single day. You do not have to take a trade when you're in front, like just because, hey, my time to trade is from 9:30 to 10:30. That's the time I've allocated. That doesn't mean you should be clicking buttons. The market does not care about your schedule. It just doesn't. So if you have a window set aside of, hey, this is when I can trade, well, you better be ready to have a lot of times when you're not taking a trade in that window, because maybe the actual trades are setting up later. That's just the reality. Do less. I promise it will increase your profits. Kind of paradoxical, it seems. Like everything else in our life is about doing more, working harder, doing more. Maybe if I just click the button more times, I'll start to get this. Trading rewards patience. Patience is the key. So I'll get off my soapbox, but hopefully that is helpful to someone out there. Octopus says, could you use a softer synonym for paradoxical so I can be more efficacious? That would assume that I know what that word means, my friend. I ain't that smart. All right, I'm watching this. I didn't even realize that I drew this wider trend. I just did that unconsciously. That's what happens when you've been doing that this long. I'm just like, I literally do not remember even drawing that, but it looks like it fits. Could definitely be the case. All right, we got a little volatility. Well, the thing is, Octopus, I only know about 5 big words, so once I've exhausted the far reaches of my vocabulary, that's about it. I should probably start learning more words, you know what I mean? Should probably start learning stuff. No, no regrets. I hear you, Pappy Chuck. Words are overrated, you're right. I don't need them words. That is fancy stuff. All right, well, we got this potential wider uptrend. The bulls are continuing to win the battle here, and we can start gaining some more confidence in the long side. As I've been saying all day, we do have a bullish bias. And this is when it's going to get tested. We broke out of the high of day. We're above this key level. If those two things can hold, it's going to be bull time. And we're going to be, hey, shoot, maybe we get a day like yesterday where we can just take crazy trades all day. We're right here, all right? We are right here in the, okay, it broke out. Is this going to hold? If it holds, boom, let's get after it. So we don't know yet. We do not know yet. This could very easily just pop back down into range territory. And that's kind of what I would anticipate is going to happen. However, it doesn't really matter what we think. What matters is what actually happens. So on this next pullback, we're going to watch if it holds 21 and we make a new high. We're going to start to get a lot more confidence in the long side. And I will be taking a long if it sets up on this next pullback. They say 60% of the time, it works every time. All right, so on this next pullback, we potentially have a long. That's the next setup I'm looking for, guys, is a second entry here at the EMA. That's the pattern we're looking for. If it all sets up and we get a nice signal bar, that's going to be our trade. And then I've already laid out the plan for the rest of the day, so hopefully it's a good one for you. We're going to be crushing it over in the Discord as per usual. Hope to see you over there. Have a great day, everyone. Catch you next time.